guys. Go ahead and get your foam roller perpendicular with your mat behind you. Arms reach forward, thumbs up. Inhale, lift your spine nice and tall. Exhale, you're going to tuck your tail and start to round your spine backwards. Now, as you're doing this, you want the roller to kind of come right around mid-back. You can think bra strap area. All right, and then hands come behind the head, and you're going to let your chest fall backwards, and you're coming into an extension out over that roller. Now, this should be a place that it feels comfortable. If for any reason it isn't or it pinches, lift your hips up, roll yourself a little forward or a little backwards, and you'll find the space and place where it works the best. You're going to inhale here and then exhale. We're going to fold forward, and that fold is focused on these low ribs, pulling down towards the front of the hips. They're kind of folding in the front and fanning to the back. You should almost feel the roller move just a little tiny bit behind you. And then inhale, fan the ribs open to the front and fold them in the back as the chest falls backwards over the roller. Here we go. Exhale. And inhale, extending the spine back out over the roller. Now my knees and feet are squeezing together, so why don't you do the same? That's simply going to give us a little bit more of a midline connection, and that connects to our pelvic floor. As you fold forward here, feel free to bring in a little pelvic tilt to that, tucking your tail, and then as you inhale, open the tail and open the chest back. And let's take that for 5. Exhale. And inhale back, lengthening, fold forward for 4. Wringing out your middle and pulling the belly button backwards, fold forward for 3. If the roller starts to get away from you, just readjust, falling back. Fold forward for 2. That's it. And falling back. Fold forward for 1. Good. And now you're going to fall back just a teeny little bit, and you're going to open that pelvis up just a little bit. Think of neutral, if you will. So you're pressing the bottom of your tailbone down into the mat. You're not arched, but you're just holding this in. So you're trying to pull the front hip bones together, similar to some of the work we did last week. Hands stay behind the head here. You're going to float one leg up to tabletop and then the other leg up to tabletop here. Good. Let's open the knees, sit bones apart, and let's just do our toe taps. We lower one leg down and lift it back up. Inhale the other leg down, exhale back up. That's it. And we can kind of simultaneously change. And I really want you to allow that quad to drop away from your torso and direct the orchestra from your core and from your abdominals. So I don't want you to overly feel your hip flexors engaging or, just tensing up too much, and not the quads either. So they definitely are engaged. It's not something that you can take them out of, if you will, but you want to really try and direct the movement and pull the leg back in from your core. So this should be nice and tight and pulling back instead of pushing out. Yes? Let's go one more. Feet together, knees apart, and they can go wider than your shoulders. And now it's a double toe tap, if you will. So the toes go down together and pull back up and in. Now, as we're doing this, we're not changing the position of our pelvis, so careful there. So as your knees drop down and away, you're not opening the pelvis up into more of a little arc, okay? So keeping it still is where we can also really isolate that core challenge. Let's take these for 5. Inhale 4. Inhale 3. Inhale 2. Inhale 1. Bring your knees together and rest your feet onto the floor. Allow yourself to go back into that nice extension. This is just to stretch it out. If you need to lengthen your legs long, I totally understand. Go ahead and do so. In fact, let's hold it back here, and you're going to squeeze your legs together, and you're going to lift your hips up nice and straight and long like this, and then lower down and lift the hips up for 4. And lower down, and as you lift the hips, sink the belly back. So you're kind of trying to connect this center point here, and lower down and up for 3 and down and up for 2 and down and up for 1 and lower it down. Take another inhale to prepare, and with an exhale, fold back forward, bending the knees in. You can readjust that roller if you need to put it in the right spot behind you. And we're going to come into bicycle legs. So we're going to float one leg up to tabletop, the other leg to tabletop. Same position of the pelvis as before. So pressing the tailbone down into your mat here. And you can always bring your arms long if you prefer. Okay. And we're just going to bicycle the legs. So let's lengthen one leg up towards the ceiling and then send the other leg out towards the floor. As you bend that knee in, you're going to drag the toes along the mat towards you. And there we go. I'm going to let you figure it out. I don't know why. I feel like describing bicycle legs doesn't really make as much sense as just doing it. Just pedaling those legs. That's it. And the lower you let that leg go down towards the floor, drag the foot in towards the glute. Before you extend the leg up, you're going to connect deeper into your core. Remember, hold everything in here. Don't push out of that abdominal wall. Let's go for 3 more. And 2 more. And 1 more. Now reverse, press out, lift up. Yes, really try and press out on that mat. So you'll find that downward press helps you connect to the core even more. We'll go 4 more and 3 more and 2 more and 1 more. Whoops, did something funny there at the end. Good, let's go ahead and lengthen the legs all the way out onto your mat in front of you. Reach your arms forward, take an inhale here. Exhale, you're gonna round it all the way up and over your thighs. Reach for your ankles or your feet. Give yourself a little pull back and a hug. And then lift it up nice and tall. All right, we're gonna come into a little bit of a stronger series here. So flip yourself around. All right, guys, listen, we're gonna be going up into a plank. And if you cannot do a full plank, the modification for this would be to, I'm thinking about this. You have 2 options. One would be to keep the roller underneath the tops of your feet or tops of your ankles, and you're just gonna lift and lower, hovering your knees up and down over the floor, okay? The other option would be to actually bring the roller just above your knees. So like you would be in a kneeling plank, and this you're just gonna go a little forward and a little back, okay? So that would be your modification for what we're about to go into. For the rest of us, send that roller behind you and get your toes on top. Position your hands just slightly wider than your shoulders. Really straighten into the leg that is behind you. We're going to send the other leg back, and let's come into our legs squeezing together. You can be feet parallel here, unless you want to go into your Pilates V. So let's roll those arm bones out, expanding through the collarbones. Lift the belly up and backwards. Reach your sit bones for your heels. We're going to flex the feet and point the toes. So you're moving the roller just a little bit underneath those feet. Flex and point. Body isn't moving, just the feet are moving. Flex and point for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now hold it up here. Okay, toes really right on the top. And now it's the arms. We're gonna press the body forward and press the body back. It's a small movement. You gotta keep your toes on top of the roller. Pressing forward and pressing back. That's it. Feel your core engage. Stay nice and straight like an arrow. Keep the back of the neck long. 5 more. 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Bring one knee down and the other knee down. If your wrist.
Thanks for moving with me, you guys. If you liked this workout, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so you get a notification each time I upload a new video. Come over to my website at goneadventuring.com if you're interested in more full-length workouts or live classes each week. Join us. Let's do this together at any time from anywhere. I'll see you soon.